Okay, here's how you print on an Ultimaker 3. The first thing you want to do is get a file that you want to print and save it as an STL file. Here I am in Autodesk Inventor and I go File, and then I think I need to select or hover over Print. If I hit Print right away, I think it'll print a PDF file, but we want to go to Send to 3D Print Service. And we want to save it as an STL file, and probably on the desktop would be a good location for that. Looks like it's going to put it in downloads. I'm going to put it on the desktop instead. Once you have it saved as an STL file, this is, converting it from an IPT file to an STL file. Then this is something that you can load into Cura. And this is a free application you can download, of course. And then go to Open and then locate that STL file. And then it's going to load it onto the screen like this. It would take quite a bit of time to print something like this. Let's just see how long it's going to take. We can hit slice. It's going to give us an estimate over here to the upper, well, actually to the lower right-hand side. So if this is just a demo part, we really don't need to print it, that big. And so let's see, I think what you do is right click to orbit around. That's right. And then so if we want to scale this down to something more reasonable, what we can do is use this. And let's say to scale it down to, I don't know, 25%. And so it's going to take a lot less time to print something like that, obviously. And only just an hour for that piece right there, which is probably like 4 or 3.5 centimeters. So a little bit more than an inch like that. And of course, you can change the infill, but it's usually good to go about 20%. And then if you're just looking for a rough copy of it, you just go to normal and see if that speeds it up a little bit. If you want a little higher quality, of course, what you want to do is change it to fine or ultra fine under this setting. Also, you can add adhesion to the surface if you think it's going to slip. You do want to put some glue down, but if you do a preview here, and you can see that it's putting some adhesion down like that. And then what you can do is go ahead and save it to a local drive. Now, let me see if I can get a picture of the front of this Ultimaker 3 so I can show you those steps. Okay, so what you want to do is under here, you want to save it to a USB drive like this one right here. And then after you save it, let me just save it to the hard drive so you can see what the file looks like. So if it saves disk, you're going to see that it's going to save it as a G code file. And the other thing that you'll want to make sure is happening here is it says UM3, which means Ultimaker 3 rather than Ultimaker 2. That was the other printer that we were using. And so if you open up the folder, you should see a file extension of .g code, or at least maybe a file type of G code over here. This is a file that gives instructions to motors to move around, and that's what we have up inside of the 3D printer. So it's got, 3 motors, X, Y, and Z. And so if we go ahead and grab the, let's see, let's go and turn this all the way down. We don't need sound. Put the USB cable in there, and then you dial in. Well, first of all, you select print and press in. And then anytime you want to select something on this, you press in like I have there. Put a thin layer of glue down. You may have to clean the glass surface a little bit if it gets too much glue on the surface. It will warm up like that and begin to print. All right. So what you will notice is that it will start with the first layer this down, and then just build up from there. You can see the infill is not completely filled in, just 20% filled in. And going all the way up here, it's putting the holes in place, and then it's going to print. And then what you do is use like a putty knife to get underneath this brim right here, and then pry it off. You want to make sure that you wait until it cools down a little bit. It'll be a little bit easier to pop off of there if you let it cool down for maybe about 5 to 10 minutes before you pop it off there. Let's see here. What else was I going to tell you about this process? Another possibility is that if the device is on the network, like this one is right here, you can turn on the camera like this and then actually print through the network. You might have saw this over here as an option down here, I can say print over network. Okay. And so if I did something like that, and I hit print over network, what I would do is notice that these lights in here would come on, and then this bottom plate, whoops, this bottom plate right here would move up, and it would see the process go through from bottom to top. This also allows us to cancel the print along the way if we see an error in the PLA extrusion onto the glass, or just kind of a buildup or a slipping of the object. So I guess I recommend, first of all, using the USB approach, and then secondly, you can use this print over network approach. I hope this helps get you started with the Ultimaker 3 and Cura.